everybody, and welcome to your Saturday night. I am your Saturday night. Where are we? Where could we possibly be? Where could we possibly be? I'm going to tell you where we are. Come on over here. I'm going to tell you where we are. So, long story short, this is my new studio. So I got part of the studio ready. Actually, I say new studio. It's a space I previously had anyway. The only difference between now and then is that now this is set up so I can stream here. Like, stream and have a good time and get to know everybody. I hope the sound is good. There should be captions available. Those should all be visible and there. Please let me know if the captions are working, if the sound is okay, you know, how everything's going. But yeah, so we have some of my artwork up on the wall here behind me. I'm still getting everything set up how I like, but I do have some of my paintings up already. Because what's the point in having created all this art if it's nowhere to be seen? You know, if you can't see it, it's not doing anything. Now, depending on where you're joining me, whether that is Twitch or Twitter or YouTube or LinkedIn, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. Now, I'm not going to stand on ceremony. I'm actually going to go ahead and start painting just right now. I'm not going to wait. I've been waiting too long to paint. So I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to start painting. And I just actually already have some white on my palette. I'm going to get this really big rough brush here. I want to start getting a bunch of rough paint on this canvas. And this is really, like, it's rough. It's rough paint, and it's a mixture of whites and blues. One of the reasons I want to get like the paint just on here to begin with, in this really rough way, is I don't want this canvas to be all dry and yucky. I want it to have something on it right from the get-go. And I want to be able to paint from a base of sorts. Now, I didn't really blend all this paint together in a nice, neat, singular tone. I'm leaving it very rough. Very, very rough. But it's all going to be part of the charm. And I need more. I need more. I don't have enough. There's not enough paint on here. So we're going to get more paint on here. Going to get more and more paint on here. And actually, yeah, I'm just going to glob it on and then I'm going to spread it out. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day. I hope that your weekend has been quite lovely. And if you have to work, hopefully your working weekend has been good. Now, as I normally do, I'd like to remind you all how much I appreciate you. How much each and every one of you is special and important. Alright, so that's a lot of paint that I already have on there. You know, But we got this nice primed surface. Let me make sure that's stable. We have this nice primed surface, um, and from there I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. Whatever I want. That's the goal. To be able to approach the arts from my own unique perspective. And I know that I definitely have kind of a unique perspective on art, on creativity. I tell stories. I tell all sorts of stories. I tell stories that don't always make sense. And that's actually a good thing. Not every story needs to make sense. Not every story needs to be perfect. In a lot of ways, with all of our unique tales, with all of us, who we are, what's sometimes most important is actually just that our stories are heard. The things that we have to say matter. They don't just matter to us, though, to be fair, oftentimes they matter to us the most. But the things that we have to say and the things that we have to share, they really do matter in the world. They really are important. They're what makes us uniquely us. We should always strive to be uniquely us, whatever that actually might mean for us as individuals. Now you'll notice it's really rough right now. I'm kind of approaching this just from a position of fun and enjoyment, not so much from a position of that which is perfect. So I want everything to be really, really rough for a while, as I build what is ultimately going to be my final image. And I'm working in whites and blues for a number of reasons. One being I want this to be really cool. And I don't mean cool as in, oh, that's cool. No, I'm talking more like cool, kind of, not cold. But I don't want it to be, like, overpowering and, like, too much. And beyond that, I also am trying to go for, like, a specific aesthetic with this. But I want everything to be really rough at first. And that's really what we're getting. Because I have all that wet paint underneath there to begin with, like, all of this is going to be really rough. Because it's all wet. It's all wet, It's all here. We have lots of different things that we're able to do with it. But we're starting off with a very particular style. It'll all make sense as we go further. Let me talk to you just a bit about some things that occasionally end up on my mind. One of those things it's going to sound a little grim, but one of those things is a contemplation of the value of what I do. Now, granted, there's nothing actually wrong with contemplating value. And there's nothing actually wrong about giving any sort of consideration to that. Sometimes, though, it can lead us in weird paths. And I do find myself going down some weird paths here and there. What am I sketching? That's a very good question. And I'm actually just doing a very rough painting. Rough indeed. But I wanted to kind of shoot from the hip a little bit more than I normally would. You know, get paths are never weird. Thank you kindly. But you know, I really wanted to kind of go off what was happening, what I'm doing, what feels right, and in that regard, get a little closer to some of the art I used to make. Things that were far less defined and at the same time that had a little more character, a little more spirit. I used to get on here and I would do like some beautiful abstract pieces and make art, like real art. I know I still make real art, but what I want is to feel like what I'm creating is still me. Not a concept of me, but me. I know, sometimes when I say things, they're interpretable, but there's a lot of work I do that's extremely personal, and some of that is getting lost. It's getting lost in new formats, and it's getting lost in the way these works come out. Some days don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just doing. And don't get me wrong, it's fun. But it's not. It's not always true. It's not always true. What is true, almost universally, is that when I just let go of that feeling of what I should do, I come across what I want to do. And there's a lot I want to do. I get so bound up in the necessary. Necessary. Ooh, that sounds like a dirty word, necessary. I'm going to take 1 second, though, to stop rambling so I can say I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining me, as always. I hope that you're having a delightful weekend. So yeah, I'm getting a little abstract, but I'm also doing something I enjoy, which is making people. I like making people. I like doing it outside the rules. Outside anyone's rules but my own. I like my own rules. I'm used to my own rules. I'm going to use my own rules. So we're getting really, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll think of it later. I'm just kind of going with what is ultimately my gut. My gut. Because I can do some really good portraiture. Sometimes. But you know what else I do that's really good, in my opinion, is the more interpretive. So that's kind of what I'm doing. It's all wet on wet work. I have some ideas. I'm not going to hold myself to those ideas. I'm not going to say, this is how you're going to do it. No, I'm going to follow what's right. Because that is what's right for me. So yeah, this is really interpretive. It's just fun. It's what I like to do. I think that's the best way to put it. It's what I like to do. This is home. Home, home, home. You know the fun thing about home? No matter what, no matter what shape it is, it's always your home, not someone else's. That's something I like. No one can take what is mine. Because it's mine. Nobody can do it the way I do. Because it's mine. Sometimes I struggle to find the right brush for the job I want to do. What is the right brush for the job I want to do? I have so many brushes. Let me just make that clear. Like, I have so many brushes. This is one of several containers. I have several containers of brushes over here. That's just one. I got a couple more. But I got so many different containers. I gotta find the right brush. Oh no. Except for brushing. Now. Just right to the funny business, huh? Right to the funny business. That's okay. We can take a little funny business. Trying to be a comedian? Well, you did a good job. Because you got to the heart of the funny business. And that's half the battle. Because if you can't get to the heart of the funny business, I mean, what's going to go on? Where are we even going to go from there? But yeah. So I'm having some fun. You know? So, love the bracelet. Thank you. That's from my BFF. Got that. It's a really nice one. I like it. It was oh, now I'm trying to remember if it was a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. Can't recall. But you know what? That's fine. I am wearing one of my River Morning t-shirts from back in the day. I know I haven't done a River Morning in a long time, but I still have some of the merch. That's fun merch. So. So I just kind of went silent for a second while I was doing. I want to see close up of the bracelet. See how well that does. Just a nice silver bracelet, and then it's got these wonderful little arrows down here. I wonder if those can show up. I'm not sure if they're showing up on camera. Wonderful little silver bracelet with some great arrows, and general. One of my favorite little pieces of jewelry here. One of my. I have a lot of jewelry, but this is one of my favorites. You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in your Saturday night. This is a participation show. Viewer participation is not mandated, but it is appreciated. Yeah, I'm liking this. We're going places. Going places, doing stuff. Kind of reaching into the wild. Maybe it's not the wild. Maybe it's the sedate. We're reaching into it either way. I have some things I gotta fix on here, so we're gonna look weird for a minute. But it's all gonna work out. All of it. Okay, maybe not all of it, but you know what? Don't care. I'm gonna make it work. Gonna make it work. So I had a couple of things I want to fix really fast. We're gonna see how they look afterwards. But I'm actually gonna make these eyes a lot bigger so that I can fix the shape of the eye. and also the way it's appearing. So some stuff is going to look a little weird, a little weird for a minute, a little weird. At least until I get the look that I'm actually after. Because sometimes you have to say, that didn't work. Let's try again. So as a side note, I'm in a pretty good mood today. It was my workshop earlier today. That went well. I'm just in a generally pretty good mood. So, like, that's good. Right? Should always strive to be in a pretty good mood. Maybe not always, but you know, I do my best. I do my best to kind of have a really decent mood when possible. So now, yeah, I got a lot going on, but this is fun because this is just formless and interesting and speaking to me. Makes me feel good. See if I can do this the right way. So this is right where you get into like those areas where you're trying to like fix it, make everything kind of look a certain way. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get it all to look a certain way. And I'm not doing a half bad job, if I do say so myself. You know, just kind of digging in, getting more and more something. Something. But I am achieving something. Digging in. getting somewhere. Sometimes that's all art is trying to figure out where you're going. Trying to figure out where you're going. I'll be fair, I think I am figuring out where I'm going. I don't know yet. I really don't know yet if I'm getting where I intended to be. But I'm going there anyway. I'm going to divide those again. I kind of just made those fingers into one finger. That's okay. What I am going to do though, start to frame my subject. I think that'll look good. A little subject framing. So I'm about to make things look really weird for a minute, and that's okay. That is our journey right now. That is our journey right now. But after I darken all this in, I'm going to be able to really well come back in and lighten it up. Now, I haven't used any black. I'm actually only using phthalo blue and burnt umber because they have the right tone for what I'm doing. So just in case you're wondering, yep, there's no actual black in this piece. There's just the illusion of black. But it's taking shape. I'm getting really good at doing complete paintings essentially in one go. I've been improving steadily at this kind of skill. And the more I do it, the better I get at it. And the better I get at it, the more I kind of appreciate it. Like, I really appreciate this kind of build-up. It's, I don't know, it's exciting. It's exciting to come in and just make something. make it in all the ways you want it to be. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Making things in all the ways I want them to be. Might not always make sense, but it's good. We like it. 42 minutes in, and this is where I am. And as far as artwork goes, you know, this is pretty cool. Is it excellent? That is up to you, my friends. I'm not going to take the power to say that away from you. But it is something. So far, so good. Well, thank you so kindly. It's fun. I'll give it that. It's interesting to me. So I'm gonna actually just kind of glue out the eyes for a second. So I can take a round brush that looks better. Yeah, that looks better. Now that's gonna make more sense in a second, but sometimes I gotta do that. I gotta hit areas with like some dark so that I can make them make more sense with the rest of the composition. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Just making things make more sense. Making more sense of things that are here that didn't make quite as much sense until I did that. Set my palette down for a moment, really look at what I'm doing. So, let me just stand that up a bit, if I can. Because I'm looking at my, I'm looking at my screen and I realize I can't see it well enough. So let's make it easier to see. Oh yeah, that has an interesting quality to it. It's sort of inhuman, a little, I don't know, monstrous or something. I don't know exactly what's going on. I like it. We're going to keep going. So I have this round earring over here, and now that I darkened in all the background, I'm going to put one on the other side. Let's see if I can do this. So there we go. Now there's one of those round earrings on both sides. Oopsie daisy. That was too much. So when it comes to like a really good abstract piece, I think I'm hitting all the notes I wanted to for that. When it comes to kind of getting that that quality that was really a lot more evident in some of my earlier art, I think I'm getting that. Definitely more obscured now. Oh, I like that. We're getting a lot. There's a lot going on with this. Grab an itty bitty brush. There's a couple little things I want to do here that require an itty bitty brush. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, and now I have avoided using black at all in any of this, but I am going to grab some black paint now. Whoop! Well, that's enough. Because I spilled some. I spilled some. Grab a little round brush here, and I have this ash black. So let's get back onto something I was talking about a little bit earlier, and that is stories and how I like to tell them. Now, why am I going back to this concept? Because everything I do is a story of some sort. You might not see it, you might not always experience the story I'm trying to tell, but it's there. It's in the architecture of what I'm doing. It's in the shape of what I say. It's in the gaps. And some of the stories I tell, or some of the stories I have to tell, can be jarring. There's a lot of reasons they're jarring. I realize that when it comes to my fiction, what I'm saying can be uncomfortable. But it doesn't make it any less true or interesting or real. It doesn't make it any less worthy of being heard. And sometimes those stories require us to show things in ways that maybe people don't understand. And that is exactly what I'm doing today. I am showing you my thinking as it is. Not as it could be, not as it should be, not as people want it, not as I do for, say, my career. My career as an artist, I make tons of stuff, and it is for other people. It's for other people, but this is for me. A piece of artwork like this is for me. Unapologetically, it's uncompromising. This is for me. And that's my biggest struggle as a creator. Finding the ability to do things which are wholly mine and for me, but also are appealing to others. I'm sure in many ways a lot of people can understand what I'm saying, where we end up doing stuff not because it's what we want, but because it's what's viable. Because it's what is popular or makes us a few bucks. Most of my fiction is quite dark when I write stories. Most of my movies are pretty serious subject matter. Most of my personal interests, well, they can be pretty serious subject matter too. Doesn't make it any less good. Doesn't make it any less art. This is art. my art. And though may be lots of pieces that look like it, though there might be lots of people with a similar style, it's not my style. And it never will be. And that's okay. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank all of you who support me, no matter where you are supporting me. And I would like to say thank you for that support. I'd like to say thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to show up. I hope you continue ever forward to show up. And this has been an incredibly interesting, fun, and wonderful journey of creative freedom that I have had the honor to share with you today. And it is, most certainly, an honor to be able to share time with you. I think that's actually going to be where this piece is declared finished. But it needs something, doesn't it? It needs something. Let me find the right one. This is a really tiny brush, but I might be able to do what I want to do here. One little signature to solidify that as a completed piece of art. My signatures on paintings are messy. I never developed the kind of skill, like they teach you how to do signatures, proper signatures on artwork. I was never good at that. I'm not going to pretend suddenly that I know how to do it. But here's my piece. I'm not going to go just yet. I'm going to do one thing because I just saw it and it's making me like, ugh. I know I just signed that, so it should be done. But now it's done. Now it's done. All right. This has been your Saturday night. Thank you so much for joining me, no matter where you are, no matter how you've come here. We had some good times. We had some great times. There was art, there was creativity, there was a story I started telling that went nowhere, and a painting that started from a really blank, messy canvas and turned into this amazingly interesting and beautiful piece of art. And I think this is beautiful. It is uniquely me. It's uniquely, beautifully me. It is messy. It is detailed in all the wrong ways. And I love it. No matter what you do in your life, do something you love. Take care. Be excellent. I will see you all again soon. I'm going to try to start streaming more often and doing more art and getting more into the stuff I love, doing the things I want to do, because that is how I feel and that is what I want to make. I love when I do my workshops. I love when I do something beautiful like the painting behind this on the wall that's like really bright and really beautiful. It's fun, but this here, with its intrinsic darkness, with its poor proportions, and this kind of oversaturated, overshadowed, underlit, but overlit at the same time, like this is beautiful to me. And I love that I got the chance to make it. Alright, that's enough. Take care. Be excellent. I will try to do more art streams like this, and just art streams in general. And I hope you join me again. But until then, you're awesome!